Good afternoon, families, friends, staff members, and of course, my fellow graduates. My name is Brooke Steele, and I have been lucky enough to serve as president for the class of 2026 throughout all 4 years of high school. I'm not going to lie, I put off taking the time to sit down and write this speech for a while now. And when I say a while, I mean months. Give me some grace, though. I've only known I had to graduate for the past 17 years. It was overwhelming to pick what message to get across in my speech. I don't want to sit here and lecture you all for 5 minutes about what is going to happen next, because the truth is nobody knows. What I do know is the UV index at Duxbury Beach for the next week, so if you need help with that, I can totally be there. All right, get to the point, Brooke, right? No, not yet, sorry. Instead, if you'll bear with me, I want to start off walking us through a day. Picture this. You're driving early in the morning, heading to get a coffee. A car is riding your bumper, even though you're already going over the speed limit. You pull over frustrated and let them pass. What you don't realize is that man is rushing to the hospital. He just got news about his mother, and every second counts now. You get to the busy coffee shop, step in line behind a woman elegantly dressed. You spontaneously compliment her appearance and tell her to have a great day. You feel a small spark of joy in the moment, but what you don't realize is that woman drove the whole way home wearing a smile because she hasn't felt beautiful in months. When it's finally your turn to order after the long wait, the stressed barista looks like she's on the verge of tears. Instead of checking your watch, you tell her you're in no rush and she's doing a great job. That one moment of grace reassures her for the rest of her shift. Even if someone's hands are empty, they could be carrying the heaviest weight in the room. We see this every day in the halls. This year has been a blur of figuring out what comes next, and it's easy to let comparison become the thief of joy. Senior year is tough because we're all looking at each other's next steps, but your value isn't defined by your college, trade, gap year, or commitment to the military. 5 years from now, nobody is going to remember you for your title in a club or how many cords you wore today, but they will remember you for how you treated them. They'll remember if you were the person who went out of your way for them, took an extra second to smile at them in the hallway, or simply walked by like a stranger instead. The truth is, we've spent the last 4 years passing each other, but we've really just seen each other's surfaces. We've also had some really quiet, somber moments as a grade. Most notably, we've lost classmates. For most classes in high school, that's not something students can say, and I think that's taught us, maybe sooner than we wanted to learn it, that a person can look totally fine while they're actually falling apart inside. These moments may not affect everyone the same way, but it is something that you will always carry with you because it is so heavy at any age, never mind in high school. We see the people who hold themselves up so well, always seeming so outgoing and joyful, but we don't see the weight they carry of trying to keep everyone else happy so they don't have to deal with their own silence. We see the person who always has the perfect grades, but we aren't there to notice the 2 a.m. panic attacks over studying or the fear that 1B could define their future when applying to college. We may see the kid who's usually storming into first period late and assume they're irresponsible or careless, but we had no clue that they were up half the night taking care of their siblings, or that their parents are constantly oversleeping after night shifts and are their only source of transportation. It's so easy to feel like we're falling behind when we're only looking at each other's best moments. For example, I'm up here talking on a scary microphone in front of all of you, which probably looks like a highlight, but if my shaking hands aren't giving it away, I'm actually terrified. And that's the point. We never fully see what goes on in someone else's moment. If we stop worrying so much about whose next steps look better, we start to see each other for who we actually are and realize how similar we all really are. That's the person I hope we choose to be. The one who notices the weight others are carrying, because the truth is, the barista, that driver, and even the person sitting next to you today are all fighting battles you may never know about. Your legacy isn't going to be a line on a resume. It's going to be the way you made people feel when they were carrying their heaviest weight. Roles will change throughout jobs, relationships, and every stage of life, but your impact will always last. As cliche as it may sound, a quote from Taylor Swift has always stuck with me. Never be so kind you forget to be clever. Never be so clever you forget to be kind. Be clever enough to build the life you want, but be kind enough to remember that everyone else is just trying to build theirs too. Thank you to all my family and friends who helped me along the way, and to every person who has made any gesture, as small as a smile in the hallway to me. I quickly want to give a shout out to my cousin Addison, who has always been my best friend for as long as I can remember. Allergies, sorry. And the person who was always there to pick me up while I was carrying some of my heaviest weights. I love you and I'm so lucky to have you. I also want to apologize in advance to anyone who has to hear my speech a second time on my mom's Facebook, which is streaming right there. But in all seriousness, I mean this with my whole heart. Congratulations, class of 2026. Whether you have people in the audience cheering for you, and if you don't, I'm so proud of you and so far of how we've come. And I can't wait to see how all of our journeys continue. We did it! Thank you.